So I'm sure this is not the first time that you guys have heard about Steven Crowder claiming that Hitler was both a liberal and a socialist, which is absolutely hilarious, of course. Now, I've talked about this before myself, but I wanted to talk about this again to kind of cement how bullshit this is, because looking at this, it's so hilarious to claim that Hitler was a liberal and a socialist, and we're going to be looking into why. So basically, they have this article on Louder with Crowder. It's a really shitty website that writes really shitty articles. And if you guys recall the Dylan Roof article that I talked about, this is the same writer. So basically, the level of garbage in here is basically the same. Now, they used a meme. Well, it's not really a meme, but a picture that has a quote that's totally fake and has been 100% debunked by Snopes, but they haven't taken it down yet. They haven't taken it down. It's been debunked for, I think, over a year now, and they still have not taken it down. Now, here's what this fake quote from Hitler says. It says, "We are socialists. We are enemies of today's capitalistic economic system for the exploitation of the economically weak, with its unfair salaries, with this unseemly evaluation of a human being according to wealth and property instead of responsibility and performance, and we are determined to destroy this system under all conditions. Adolf Hitler, May 1st, 1927. Now, this was something that was also used in response because the debate had come up on Twitter, and someone said, well, this is awkward, and posted that, but it's completely fake. It's not something that Adolf Hitler said. Now, Snopes did a really great job of fact-checking this, and I'm going to read to you guys what this says, and I'm going to really emphasize and point out the massive irony in how they attributed that, and how just that misattribution of that quote to Hitler like literally debunks the entire argument that Hitler is a liberal or a socialist. Now, Snopes says, back in January 2016, a conservative website, Louder with Crowder, dipped its toes into the world of fact-checking with an article, Myth Busted. Actually, yes, Hitler was a socialist liberal, that makes a claim that leftists have unfairly rewritten history to paint Hitler as right-wing, based in part on the fact that the Nazi Party had the word socialist in its name. Of course, that doesn't make something socialist. The DPRK's name is Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Is it a democracy? Fuck no! Now it goes on to say, perhaps ironically, that article opens with a tidbit of literally rewritten history, so even more, just massive irony. This is misattributing a quote by Nazi Party member Gregor Strasser to Adolf Hitler. Now that is that's the quote that I exactly read to you guys. Now, who's Gregor Strasser? Now, Gregor Strasser was basically someone who was another speaker for the party that Hitler had used to get popularity for the party, and Gregor Strasser was a socialist. And what Hitler ended up doing they had such tensions growing up, as they continued going, tensions started growing between them because their actual beliefs were so vastly different. Gregor Strasser actually being a socialist and then Hitler not being a socialist. They had massive disagreements that came up, and they started to really get bothered with each other. And what ended up happening is Hitler he didn't kill him. He ordered Gregor Strasser to be executed on the Night of Long Knives. Well, the Night of Long Knives was when Hitler had all of his political opponents killed. Keywords, political opponents, because he did not agree with Gregor Strasser, because he was not a socialist. Now we're going to continue reading into this. They go into depth. They say, while Hitler may have co-opted elements of this language when it was politically expedient, they are not his words. Instead, these are the words of early Nazi Party official Gregor Strasser, printed in a 1926 pamphlet titled Thoughts About the Tasks of the Future. That pamphlet, as we will discuss in detail below, attempted to appeal to ultra-nationalist movements on both the left and the right at the time, when the Nazis were a fringe political party seeking to carve out as big a part of the German electorate as possible. So Strasser's pamphlet went on to make these decidedly non-socialist sounding statements as well. He also goes on to say, the spirit of our nationalist socialist idea has to overpower the spirit of liberalism and false democracy if there is to be a Third Reich at all. So he literally is arguing against liberalism when they claim that Hitler was a liberal. Now, it goes on to say, deeply rooted in organic life, we have realized that the false belief in the equality of man is the deadly threat with which liberalism destroys people and nation, culture, and morals, violating the deepest levels of our being. So the person that actually stated the quote that they were citing said this shit. So the person that they're claiming, because technically they're claiming, based off that, because they misattributed the quote, basically what you're looking at is them calling this guy a liberal, which he's not, even just by those quotes. But it goes on to say, Gregor Strasser was a prominent Nazi propagandist in the formative days of the Nazi Party, a World War I veteran, active in post-war anti-Soviet paramilitary activities. He, along with Adolf Hitler, became one of the two most prominent voices for the party as it attempted to build a cohesive ideology and broad support across the various factions within a deeply divided Germany. It says, as it happens, Hitler was not a fan of Strasser's ideas. While his efforts helped the Nazis with the early electoral victories in the elections of 1928, his views became dangerously discordant with Hitler's, and he was assassinated on his orders in 1934. It says, by the early 1930s, Strasser was head of the Nazi political organization and second only to Hitler in power and popularity. As leader of the party's left wing, however, he opposed Hitler's courting of big business as well as his anti-Semitism and instead favored radical socialism reforms along socialist lines. He finally resigned his party offices in 1932. Hitler was able to avert large-scale losses in membership after Strasser's defection, and after Hitler's accession to the chancellorship, Strasser lost almost all of his influence. He was murdered on Hitler's orders during the Purge of 1934, which is the Night of Long Knives. Now, they really point out the kind of irony here, as I was trying to emphasize to you guys. So it's the fact that Hitler disagreed with Strasser's view of National Socialism so much that he was killed in part for holding those views makes it all the more absurd to attribute this quote to Hitler, as Louder with Crowder has done. So it's even more, they say that it makes it absurd just to attribute this quote to Hitler. That's not even just it. Just to claim that Hitler's a socialist when he had Gregor Strasser killed, the left wing of the Nazi Party, he had him killed because he disagreed with his positions, because he wasn't a socialist, he wasn't a liberal. The private sector was massive in Hitler's Germany. All the stuff that people like to cite of Germany, like they do in the shitty Louder with Crowder article, already existed prior to Hitler coming in. Fucking, like I said, they literally have had universal healthcare since Otto von fucking Bismarck. So this is just, it's a terrific embarrassment that not only did they manage to get something so wrong, but they misattribute a quote that debunks their entire point and article literally within a matter of seconds. If you just research that the quote is misattributed and you find out, wait a second, the person who actually said that quote was executed by Hitler on the Night of Long Knives, which was where all of his political opponents were killed. You go, that's interesting. Why would Hitler have a political opponent killed if he agrees with them? Oh wait, he doesn't fucking agree with him. They were completely at odds with each other. Gregor Strasser was angry at Hitler because he was courting big business. He actually privatized a bunch of industries as well. Right Wing Watch actually has a really good video on this. But this idea is so absurd. And, I really want to point out the fact that this quote being attributed to Hitler has been debunked for a long time. It's been debunked for almost probably over a year, right? But they do. Louder with Crowder's website, Steven Crowder, does not have the journalistic dignity or any kind of quality, you could say, or responsibility, anything at all, to take this shit down because they fucking got it wrong. Think about this. They literally misattributed a quote, but have refused to take it down whatsoever. So not only have they debunked their entire point, but they have debunked any claims or ideas of any journalistic integrity, respect, or responsibility on their part. So I wanted to take the time for this because if you have, fell for any of this shit, it's massively stupid. And share this around.